Hey everyone, so today I thought I would do a quick video giving you a little update, quick update on my little greenhouse which sits in my living room, and things are thriving for the most part, except when I occasionally neglect them like my poor Marantha Lucanera down there, which has yellow leaves on it because I totally forgot to water it one time. Oops! But it is huge and happy. But anyway, let's start at the top, guys. So this greenhouse, number one, I got it from Amazon. I think it's 5 feet 2 inches or 5'5" or something like that. Yeah, got it from Amazon. Really good investment. Absolutely best. I think it was like 80 bucks or something. I think that I spent. It was less than $100. Okay, let's put it that way. Not even close to 100 actually. Best investment ever. My plants love it. So what do I have in here, guys? All sorts of stuff, because I like all kinds of plants, and I basically only keep plants in here who love humidity. Okay, if a plant can survive just fine outside, in lower humidity, it never sees this greenhouse unless it's really young and I just want to give it a boost. So in here, as you can see, I have orchids, I have anthuriums, I have some Hoyas, a pitcher plant, and my Marantha, and some propagations in this little white container at the bottom that you'll see, which we'll get to. So starting at the top, right at the back, we have my giant, way too big for this greenhouse, I'm sure, buried in the bushes. You can see the beautiful splashy leaves of my Hoya Splash. These beautiful heart-shaped leaves, which are actually very large. See that? They're pretty big, very large. They're about the size of my, well, almost the size of my hand at this point. And actually there's one right here, which is the size of my hand. Yeah, it's actually quite a huge plant. And it's loving life in there. It loves humidity, of course. Can't talk. Just like most Hoyas. Next to that, I have my Ahoya Australis, just a regular, shiny leaved. Ooh, that feels good. It's happy. It's got a lot of water in it, nice and firm. It got a little soft the other day, so I forgot to water it. That's why. Anyway, yeah. Oh, by the way, that's a good way to tell if your Hoya needs water. If the leaves are really soft, and you're sure it doesn't have root rot, of course, then yeah, give it some water, guys. I actually wait for my plants to wilt a little before I water them, as long as I know it will not damage the plant. There are some plants you do not want them to wilt because it does damage. But my Hoyas, yeah, they love that. So, Hoya Australis behind, let me see if I can get a, look at that. Pretty big plant as well, guys. Pretty big plants. And the leaves are actually a good size as well. See that for an Australis? There's a leaf right here. Look at that. Pretty big leaf, okay? Beautiful plant. Is trying to take over. Eventually, I've got to tame it because I've been twirling it around the trellis forever. And we can't do that forever. And you know what, guys? It hasn't even bloomed. Oh, well. What are you going to do? It just keeps growing. I guess one day when it blooms, it'll be spectacular, right? So anyway, next to that, I have this no-name orchid. It's a Phalaenopsis orchid. I don't know its name, but the flowers start a pretty bright yellow, and they fade to this kind of, I don't know, it's kind of bright. Let's shield it a little. Fades to this kind of, I don't know, creamy white, yellow color. With, it has a lot of dots on the petals, as you can see. Really, really pretty. Love it. Got it from Home Depot years ago, and it's been doing extremely well, as you can see. It needs to be repotted as soon as it stops blooming. Problem is, it keeps blooming. So, yeah, it's kind of being, I don't know. I did this makeshift setup for the roots and everything, and I just spray them in the bowl when they look dry. Pour a little teeny bit of water in the pot, and then the roots just soak up the water that land in the pot. I don't know. Yeah, it'll stay that way until I figure something else out. Over here we have my beautiful Queen Aetherium, which is kind of buried back there and also in need of a repot. because the pot it's in is just way too tiny for it now. Way too tiny. The leaf is about a foot long. It's actually bigger than you think. I don't know if the video is capturing the real size of it. It is a gorgeous plant, of course. Let's see if I can push my Cattleya out of the way. But yeah, doing very well. I bought it as a teeny little seedling, and it's growing like a weed in the greenhouse because these guys love, love, love humidity and about medium light, not too bright. It looks like it wants to make another leaf right here, but it looks like it's slowing down. I think it's just because the pot is just too small. So I got to repot it. Over here I have, I'm terrible at names, guys, like actual, you know, cross, like the names that they give them. You know, I know it's a Ahoya orchid, and I can't remember the cross. The label's buried in there somewhere. Let's see if I can grab it for you. Oh, here we go. Oh, I know it's, oh my gosh. See, I'm doing damage, which I don't want to do, you know. Oh, there it goes. Okay, here we go. This is what that is. Cattleya, Chianya, Champion Red Apple. Bought it for 39 bucks from Roehampton's Orchids. I think like 2 years or something ago. A while ago. Okay, I'll grab that label another time. I cannot get it. But look. These are the gorgeous flowers, and it smells so good in this greenhouse thanks to this plant, guys. Because, yeah, those blooms are fragrant. They smell like roses to me. Like a sweet rose scent. Love it. It's got 2 blooms. I was so disappointed earlier when it had some buds over here. As you can see, that dried out bit right there. The buds blasted. I was like, oh, yeah. It wasn't in here when the buds blasted, by the way. It was in another spot in the IKEA cabinet. I think it didn't love it in there for some reason. Not enough humidity or something. Anyway, I took it out of there and it bloomed. Yay. Okay, next to that is my Culinary Herb. It's just in there until it's warm enough to put it outside. This is my big leaf thyme, as we call it, where I'm from. And I'm from Grenada, guys, but grew up here in Canada. Okay, so yeah, this plant smells amazing. Oh, it's absolutely magic in any dish, especially curries and stews. As the nickname, I can't remember the real name, guys, but we call it big leaf thyme because it does have a kind of a thyme smell, but to me it has a hint of a lemon smell as well. So it's a pretty potent herb. I just absolutely love it. And as you can see, I've been harvesting it. Yep, I just snipped off a piece last night as well to make the stew, which turned out amazing. So yeah, the more you pick at it, of course, the bushier it gets. And what I do is I just propagate it every year. You know, it grows into this massive shrub outside in summer because it grows really fast. And then I just take a branch, you know, before winter hits it. Harvest, you know, the rest of them, freeze them. And then take a branch and propagate, like a branch or 2. And I always have this plant. Works like a charm. Okay, where should I go next? Here I have one of my absolute gorgeous beauties back there, which is kind of hiding. Let's see if I can move this plant out of the way so you can see the blooms. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. So yeah, it's my Variegated Phalaenopsis. And again, I am terrible with names. I admit it. I don't know. I think there's a label in there somewhere. I think. Ooh, that leaf is like screaming for water. I need to water that, guys. The leaf is so soft. Yikes. Anyway, I will do that. Okay, let's see if I can get the label out. Okay, it's not gonna budge. I don't want to break it, but it's a variegated Phalaenopsis. As you can see, you buy these for the beautiful leaves. It's making a new leaf for me. The first one is making in my care, so I'm really happy. And this thing will not stop blooming. I thought it would. After I transplanted it and did all sorts of stuff, it's still blooming. It keeps making new buds. So obviously, I think it's loving the greenhouse life, which is not a surprise. Obviously, it is a tropical plant, and it's very tropical in this greenhouse. By the way, guys, the temperature in this greenhouse is usually somewhere around 26, 27, 28 degrees Celsius, and about somewhere between 85 to 90% humidity most of the time. Sometimes I let it drop to just 70s and leave it there. But I don't let the humidity go any lower in here than, say, 69. Like, I don't like 60s. I keep it in the 70s mostly, okay? So, yeah, this beauty just keeps blooming. These cute little flowers, I mean, can I zoom in on them here? Let's see if I can zoom. They're the cutest little, if I could get in there. Well, there we go. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, such a cutie. Okay, next to that I have another no-name Phalaenopsis right here. I don't know what it is. I can't remember what it even looked like. I bought it a few years ago. Never rebloomed for me because I had it in not ideal conditions, but I put it in here and it's growing like a weed all of a sudden, of course. Repotted it. And I discovered, guys, my orchids seem to all just love sphagnum moss with a little bark and perlite. That makes them happy, so that's what I do. Except for cattleyas, of course. Don't do that to a cattleya. These beauties here, they do not appreciate wet feet. Nope, nope, nope. They need to dry out. Because you see, they have water storage bits, which is like their canes right there. You see that? The swollen parts, they store water, guys. So don't let them just, you know, sit in moisture for, you know, days on end. Phalaenopsis, they love moisture. Consistent moisture, not wet feet, just consistent moisture. Kind of like a anthurium, to be honest. Similar. So over here we have this beauty back there buried in the weeds. Let's see if I can move my, there we go. This is a jewel orchid. If I can remember, Macotes Patola Sanderiana. Beautiful jewel orchid, of course. Glows as you see it. Yes, it does glow. It does shimmer. It has neon green veins. It has gold veins. It has, you know, brownish, bronzish, silvery, bronzy petal with gold. I mean, guys, this plant is, yeah, gold, right? I'm in love. We've had our struggles. Not the easiest plant to care for, guys. Not, I won't lie. To me, it's not an easy plant, but well worth the effort. So after about 2 years, we finally have, it seems, come to an agreement. And it made a new shoot down there from the soil. So I'm really giddy about that. Whilst it's also making new leaves, as you can see. So yeah, Macotes Patola Sanderiana, an absolutely gorgeous jewel orchid. Here we have another beauty, which is my, what is this? Hoya. Oh, guys, it's like an exercise in memory. Hoya. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm having the worst day for remembrance. Hold on. Let's see if I wrote it down. Oh, yeah. This is why I need labels when you have like a million plants. That's the Hoya Caudata Sumatra. Known for its splotchy leaves with the jagged, ripply edge. It's hairy, if you can see the hairs, okay. And it's splotchy, and it's really pretty. And it bloomed for me this year. Check my Instagram, you'll see it. Yeah, it bloomed, which made me so happy. And it grows like crazy in here. I repotted it recently, and it's just like, look, I just let it ramble. There's only 2 like bamboo sticks in there, and I just kind of let it ramble. And it seems to just love life, you know. And the leaves are just getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, occasionally I forget to water. Oops. But it recovers nicely. There are the new leaves, branches keep going. And right here I have another beauty. My, what do you call this? This is my vanilla Planifolia Variagata. Variegated vanilla orchid. And yes, this is the actual plant where vanilla beans are harvested from. So if you want to try and grow vanilla, you got to grow an orchid. There you go. So this is a variegated version. I mean, they just have the plain green one, but I just got these because I just, look at that. The leaves are pretty. I also let it kind of ramble, as you can see, do what it wants to do, you know. And it's loving life. It's planted in moss. And see that? Look at those roots, guys. Look at those gorgeous roots. It's got a really good root system in there. Look at the aerial roots. I mean, it's a very rooty plant. I'm very happy. Over here I have my, what do you call this? 2 Anthurium vitirifoliums. Check my previous video. You'll learn more of how I ended up with 2. Really cool story. So yeah, my Anthurium vitirifoliums, which are telling me they're not too happy with me right now because they're in the tiniest little pots humanly possible because I'm too lazy to repot them. I mean, look at this, guys. Yeah, they need a repot bad. They do. I'll get to it. I will. I promise. Because they're making these weird looking leaves and I'm like, okay. Obviously, this is not gonna work. Look at that. Look at the new leaf. It's all wonky. Yeah, I need to repot them. Plants tell you when they're not happy, guys. They really do, if you pay attention. So over here we have my Piper crocatum, which is in need of an... Oh my gosh, I need to repot. Just so you guys know, I need to repot in here. There's quite a few repots I have to do. But when you have a lot of plants, you got to schedule a repot, you know. Or else, because it takes me hours to repot if I were to do, you know, a lot of plants all at once. It will take me probably an entire day. Anyway, here's my Piper crocatum, which I bought as a cutting. Actually traded, I think. Did I trade or buy? Anyway, from a person on Facebook. Anyway, and I bought it with 2 leaves at the bottom, and it grew all these for me. It's covered in sugar crystals, as you can see, because that's what Piper crocatum does if you put it in a very high humidity environment, which is, of course, what it's growing in. Covered in sugar crystals. Really cool. Here we have another beauty. I got this in a trade. Didn't pay 1 red cent. Just traded for it. So happy. It's growing leaps and bounds from when I got it. The girl who traded it to me, she said, you know, she couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. And I figure, you know, with my experience with this beauty back there, I figure, yeah, I can grow that. And I'm right. Yeah, I can grow that. So this is the McCody's Patolus Spider-Man. Yes. Anyway, this is the Spider-Man jewel orchid. Okay. It's got bronze veins. It's really pretty, as you can see. I actually have 2 because I split it up in case one died, you know, because they were like this tiny, guys, this tiny. I actually threw away a 3rd piece that was looking, I threw it away and I kept the best. So there we go. Down here we have some of my more demanding Hoyas or beloved, depending how you look at it. So first I have my Hoya curtisii right here. This little cutie doing really well, growing like a weed in high humidity environments, of course. I love the little, you know, I don't know, spades shaped leaves that are splashed. Hasn't bloomed, but you never know. Bought it as a little teeny thing for like, I think it's like $6 or something like that from a local garden center. Just bumped into it. It was so happy. Here we have a Hoya Matilde, which was just growing in my living room for a while because I took it out of the greenhouse. It grew in the living room all winter, but then I thought, I need to give it a boost. So I put it in the greenhouse, and of course, it's like, yeah, going crazy. I'm trying to get it to bloom, guys. I want it to bloom because it does have a lot of buds, but no actual blooms yet. But we'll see. Back there, I have one of my beauties, of course. This is Hoya calistophylla. Has like some of the coolest leaves on earth, I think. Look at those veins. Isn't that like... crazy. Look at that. Really cool Hoya. It is splashed a little bit with white, as you can see, and it has those really dark veins. Really cool plant. Hasn't bloomed, but maybe this is a year. I've got some Hoya obovata cuttings back there. The mother plant is in my bedroom. Yeah, nothing much to say. I also have, yeah, another one right there. And here I have my once reverted Hoya Australis Lisa, which I was so disappointed. But guys, do you see the new leaves? Hey, do you see that new leaf? I chopped this thing back to 1 leaf because I was so mad that it reverted. Just as I bought it, it reverted like within 2 weeks. I was like, what? All the new growth was green. I was like, no, that can't work. Chopped it back and hey, look at that variegation. Love it. So lesson, guys, if your Hoya is reverting, just chop it back. Don't be afraid. You can root the piece you chop off if you really want it, you know, and put it on a really bright light as this guy got here. And it should grow back into, you know, what it should be, giving you beautiful variegation. That's going to be a good one, I can tell. Here we have my Hoya Hinderope, Carnosa Compacta. There you go. Hoya Carnosa Compacta, known as the Hinderope. You can see why. I mean, look at those curly leaves. Look how long it is. I bought it as a small cutting from this girl on Facebook, and I think I paid $10 for it or something like that. $9, something like that. Pretty cheap. I love to buy cheap plants, guys, when they're tiny, you know, save money. And you just have some patience and they will grow. So, love it, love it, love it. Here we have back there my demanding but absolutely spectacular you know, gotta go get it some special water because, yeah. This is my pear plant, whose name, of course, is escaping me at the moment because my brain is asleep today. But it is my beautiful pear plant, which has, of course, incredible variegation on it, as you can see. Look at it. It's just gorgeous, guys. You know what it is. It'll probably come back to me later. But yeah, that's a pear plant. Loves high humidity, hates tap water, doesn't need extremely bright light, hence its position at the back of the greenhouse, not directly under the lights. And it is absolutely growing into a massive, beautiful thing. It always has new leaves on it. Always. Like, this thing makes new leaves like every 2 seconds. So it's really happy. Here we have my pièce de résistance. My newest addition, guys. Do you see that? Isn't that just... Dream plant. Dream plant. It's not really rare, just uncommon to find it. You have to go to specialty orchid place, guys. Orchid nursery. You don't just get this from Home Depot. So this is the Variegated Phalaenopsis, right? So this is the Phalaenopsis. It's a species orchid, guys. This is species, no cross. This is how nature makes it. Ah, isn't it? Wait, it gets better. Look at that. Dark on the back, burgundy. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. So this is a Phalaenopsis schilleriana. Famous for its gorgeous foliage, guys. Finally got my hands on one. Got it from Roehampton's Orchids here in Toronto. Amazing. Ah, it's happy. It's happy. I got it planted in moss, bark, perlite, and it's loving life. If you look closely, you can see it's making roots. Yay. Oh, I forgot about you. Hoya linearis, guys. I got a bunch of cuttings. Well, I cut up my main plant, I should say, because I'm going to make a full pot. Look at those roots. I'm just lazy. I need to repot those into dirt. But yeah, linearis doing very well. Bottom portion, we have, as I mentioned earlier, my long-suffering Maranta leucanera. I mean, it's huge. I don't know what to do with it. It's just there, taking over the bottom of the greenhouse. Loving life. I recently forgot to water it, totally dried up. But because it's in a humid environment, look, it just keeps doing its thing. It's blooming. You see those blooms? Look at that. It blooms all the time. It literally blooms almost continuously in there. But yeah, I need to repot it. I really do. So here we have some propagations. And I'm so excited, guys, because look. You see that? I hope you can see that. Look at a little baby. So I have some corms from my Amazonica location there. And they're finally growing. I put them in there in January, guys. It is now, what are we in? April. It takes that long for them to come out. Yep. So I'm happy about that, just for fun. I have some propagations from a snake plant that I murdered. And I propagated the leaves, and now I've got 2. Don't know what I'm going to do with them. Got an air plant that hated everywhere else, and I put it in here. It seems to like it in there, so we'll see. This is a top of this plant. Yep, that'll turn green. It's fully rooted. It has a ton of roots on it. Back there is my ZZ cactus. We call it zigzag cactus. I gave it away, but I kept a leaf or 2. Rooted it just for fun because I never want to give anything away entirely. But anyway, there it is. And oh, my spectacular pitcher plant. Love this plant. I mean, it's so cool. It is constantly making pictures. Ignore the mess that my plants are making, especially this pain in the butt but gorgeous nerve plant. Yeah, this thing sheds leaves like no tomorrow. But it's thriving, loving life. I think needs water, of course. I swear, nerve plants are always in need of water, it seems. Always. And as soon as you don't give them water, they do this. Yeah, they just throw leaves everywhere. But I love it. It's such a pretty plant. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And back there I've got some propagations that has been in there for like a year. And it's now an experiment to see what happens if you just leave them in there. That is my Hoya Mathilde. And I'm just wanting to see. It's sealed in that ball, which is a little teeny airspace. And I don't really water it. Occasionally I spray fertilizer and water in there once in a blue moon, like, I don't know, every few months. And it's loving life. Go figure. So that's it, guys. That's a quick tour of the greenhouse. If you enjoyed my video, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment below if you have questions, ideas. Oh, guys, I forgot. Okay, one more. Here's my mounted Oncidium, Jaho Queen. Just sitting here, doing her thing. I need to water her. Oh dear. So yeah, I mounted this a couple of years ago and it's doing very well. It's a little mini Oncidium, guys. Doesn't get very big, but I'm hoping it blooms this year. Bought it as a seedling, of course, because it's cheaper. And yeah, okay, that's it. Done, done, done. All right, guys, thanks for watching the tour of my beautiful, happy place called my greenhouse. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video and leave a comment below. I will see you guys in the next video, guys. And as I always say, I love you. God loves you. So love each other, man. It's not that hard. Okay, guys. Casey out. Bye-bye.